So let's just get to the first chart. You brought up a global EV market share chart, I guess EV sales in general. And at a high level, EV sales are just about 2%, 3 million cars sold a year out of the 90 million in the world. So as much as we're excited about this green movement, like we're just scratching the surface on the disruptive nature of this trend, how far this EV market has to go to just replace ICE vehicles. So what does this chart tell you about Tesla and why is it important to you?
Yeah, it's because I think right now, especially during this pandemic and the entire aftermath of that, the biggest question that people have now is, if we fall into a recession, what's going to happen to Tesla sales? If we see 20% unemployment, which I think is what we're going to get when the Labor Department releases the next jobs report, what does that mean for Tesla sales? Especially with $50,000-$60,000 cars. And I look at I try to understand that and approach that question by looking at market share growth, because we have examples in the past where companies like Amazon, Apple, Netflix, they all grew revenue even through the great financial crisis. Not to say that their shares didn't, tank. They did drop, precipitously, but they grew revenue through that entire crisis. And it's because they gained market share, such that it offset any losses in overall, revenues or overall sales of the industry. So even though retail sales collapsed in 2008, 2009, Amazon grew through that because they gained so much share. So I look at, what the market share growth has been for electric vehicles globally. And we see on this chart, essentially it's exponential. And it still stands and this is as of 2008. I believe it's even, it's even higher in 2019. But this is as of 2018. And the global market share for BEVs and, plug-in hybrids were about 2.2%. I think there's a lot of room for growth in that number, and we've seen that happen every single year, as you can see in this chart. So I think that there is a distinctive chance that even if we do have a global recession, if global market share of battery electric vehicles, say for example, doubles over the next 2 years, that in and of itself, I think is enough for Tesla to absorb any downturn in auto sales overall. So that's an important thing to look at.
Great point.
Yeah.
And a couple points on that. The factory shut down. If Tesla's factory is shut down for a really long time, there's no way they can grow. So I think in some ways this is kind of a unique situation, but I think at a high level, like you're on point. Why did Tesla grow their deliveries 40% last quarter? Even though they were shut down for part of it and we had this whole, catastrophe, they still were up 40%. Everyone else in the auto industry is down. So we're actually, just based on Q1, seeing evidence of exactly what you're saying.